Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you. Getting into my weekly check-in, checking in on the 4th week of December. What a December it's been. I hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas and time with your family and your friends, and it was just a joyful time. That if you're traveling, that you had safe travels and all the things. If you're watching this a little after the 27th of December, so I hope all has gone well and all your Christmas wishes came true, and that you are closer in spirit with God for this holiday season. You know, He is the reason we are here. He is the reason for this season. So I pray that you are doing well. So here we are, week 4, the weekly check-in. This is what the budget looked like. We were over in miscellaneous, and I was willing to go that route. As you can see, I've already put my check marks down. This means that I've already paid the credit card for what we're about to figure out right now. A lot of times I will pre-do all this so there's no hiccups while I'm trying to film, and the numbers come out right for you guys, and I go ahead and pay it. So I have that taken care of, and I will say we are already negative in grocery household, but the other categories besides miscellaneous, we're doing good. No extra unbudgeted. So let's go see what the numbers look like. Here is my spending calendar. We did do a lot of grocery spending, in the sense that I did a grocery pickup here, and then I went in the store for last minute things here, and then my Amazon subscription, subscribe and save, are these items here, these four items here. So that is what I had taken care of here, and then I did another Amazon purchase here. Yes, it was Christmas Day. It was just some downtime, and I discovered that I needed some things. So I just ordered them because I didn't want to go back out this week, and I don't want to go to the grocery store unless I absolutely have to. And with the New Year's coming up, I just didn't want to. So here we are. I have my little sheet of paper here where I write down everything, and we're going to check these off, total them up, and then see how we did for the week and how much we spent and how much money is left over. I will say I only have one bill left. That'll be at the end of the video when I'm done with the weekly check-in as far as my spending categories. So we'll take a look at that and what I paid the credit card back. So the first thing we have here is this pink grocery household purchase. We are checking in from the 20th through the 26th. I'm counting today as a no spend day. I'm not going anywhere. But my first grocery household, which is this pink sticker here, is on the 21st, and I will talk about that. I did a grocery pickup, so that means I ordered everything on the app, and I went to the store, and they just put it in the trunk of my car. So I will show you what I got. I did have one item. My grocery store is Meijer's, so that I use for all of this. They were out of tortillas, so I'm gonna have to go back and see if I can get those because I'm out of them. And my son definitely hogs them all, so I don't know if he has any in his room upstairs. So anyways, I bought some biscuits. We had to do a replacement with that, and then we replaced the chicken. I got 2 chicken packages. I buy this candy for my husband every year. I actually forgot to give it to him for Christmas, but that's okay. I'll give it to him after work today. He'll like the treat. He buys tea for his job because he works out of his truck all day. I got another gallon of milk, a couple of these boxes of juice. My youngest son still likes these, even though he's 20. They drink them all the time. They had a sale on ground beef, buy one, get one, 50% off, I believe. A couple cases of water, some cookies and snacks and stuff for the upcoming weeks. Some soda. My dad likes this kind of soda. Breakfast stuff, eggs and cereal and bread and ketchup and snacks, mostly snack stuff, and then steaks for dinner. I think this is what we're having tonight. And that is what we spent $163 on. Now I did have some promotions. I had at least $9.70 worth of promotions and specials and coupons and stuff from the app. So that was my grocery haul that week. The next thing I have here listed is the Amazon order. And see, check this off. So in my Amazon monthly subscription, I have supplements. These are all supplements. $15.04 for my D3K2. Then I had my husband's supplements, $22.57. I think it's a pro and prebiotic. And then my our liquid IV that we like was on sale, and I have a monthly subscription to this. My husband likes this one. It's the blackberry peach, and that has caffeine in it, so he also uses that to stay hydrated while out working. And so that was $22.08. And then $12.60 was the magnesium. This is the Doctor's Choice highly absorbent magnesium, and that's sucker. Man, take that before bedtime because it will make you drowsy. $12.60 for that, and that's what we take at night. It helps relax the muscles. We sleep better, and I take it with the D3K2 and helps muscle restoration, all the things. So there was that, and then I also had I did go to the grocery store that day, and there was a purpose and intent behind why I went to the store that day. So on the 23rd, we spent $62.09, and that was because there were a few things I wanted to get last minute. So I went to my local grocery store, Meijer, and I didn't do a grocery pickup, but I did go in the store. I bought two different, they were the same party candles, same company, just different packaging and different SKU numbers. So it was 2 candles, a 2 and a 6, because my son turned 26 years old. I bought some Cool Whip. I got a couple containers because it's Christmas, and my mom made pumpkin pie, and I wanted to make sure I had plenty of that. And then milk, a gallon of milk, crescent rolls. And then on Christmas Day, not only did I have ham that I fixed, which I used in a slow cooker this year because I was using my oven for a whole chicken, which is the whole fryer here that you see. I bought a whole chicken that day. It was $13.93. That's so much more expensive than the last time I bought it that I remember. And I haven't bought a whole chicken to cook in the oven in years. I mean, it's been a long time. But if I have extra company for Christmas, I do ham because one of my family members loves ham for Christmas, and then the rest of us love ham or chicken, and so that was all eaten up. And yeah, that was crazy. I think it went up like $3 more than I expected, but that is the inflation that we live in today. So I bought a whole chicken for Christmas. I already bought the ham previously. I slow cooked the ham, and then I oven cooked the chicken, and it turned out beautifully. And then I bought an ice cream cake for my son's birthday on the 24th. So I didn't want to purchase the whole chicken too soon where I would have to freeze it. I don't have a lot of freezer space. And I knew I was going to get the ice cream cake, and that takes up a lot of our freezer. So I had to be strategic, and half the cake's still in the freezer, and then all the chicken's gone. And I made sure the chicken could sit in the fridge until I cooked it, and then I made sure the ice cream cake that my son wanted was able to sit in the freezer. So that was the decision making behind when I bought what. And then we didn't have any groceries on my son's birthday. We were busy for his birthday and opening gifts, and we did go out to eat. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then I did purchase on Christmas Day when the day kind of slowed down, and I was sitting there and cleaning up in the kitchen. I noticed how few trash bags we had left, so I bought a big box of trash bags. I think I have that list here. Yeah, so I bought trash bags. I like these particular one. They work well for us in the kitchen and all the things. And this was about the same price or a little bit cheaper than what I have in my local grocery store. So if they're about the same price or cheaper, I will order it on Amazon and just have it delivered so I don't have to go anywhere. And on these, random runs to the store, if I don't need it for a couple days, I'll just order it and have it shipped. And then I also got a large pack of toothpaste, and my husband and I use the same toothpaste. So this is what we have here, and it was a 3-pack, and it lasts us for quite a while. I haven't bought I guess since the summer or something like that. And so I bought toothpaste to set us up because we're on our last tube, and I just want to make sure I had more on hand by the time that one was finished. So it was $32.53. It's just me stocking up on things, and I did go a little bit over in groceries, and I could have waited to buy it, but I thought I was under or right at the grocery limit, but it's okay. We're fine. We'll be all right. I have enough to cover all the things. So I'm going to total all these numbers up and find out how much we actually spent in groceries, and I'll be right back. Okay, we have $327.28. That's a pretty good amount, but we do have enough money to cover it all. Okay, next we're going to do the restaurants. I only have 3 restaurant transactions. We were very mindful this weekend on what we spent and how much and where we went out to eat. The whole family got pizza together Friday night with Papa John's Pizza. And that worked out pretty well for us. And then my husband and I were picking up groceries. That's what we were doing. We were going to pick up our groceries. Before our grocery order was ready, we went to Steak and Shake and got something to eat. My husband likes it. I like it okay. For some reason, he really likes it. And so we got Steak and Shake. It was $20.12 for what we got there. And then over here was my son's birthday, and this was his birthday lunch dinner time frame. $46.53 is what we spent at Sonny's Barbecue. He wanted a pulled pork sandwich and some fries, and that's what we got there, and he loved that. And my parents met us there, so it was 6 of us for dinner. This is for 4 people. My parents took care of their own bill, and then we took care of the birthday boy as well as our meals, and I thought that was a pretty good price for what we got. We got a lot of food and barely ate it all, but it was good. And that was the restaurants for this week. So now I'm going to total this up. Okay, that's $118.80. We did very good within the restaurants and how much we still have money left in till the end of the month, which would be this weekend coming up and our eating out for this weekend. And I think what I'm going to do this weekend is going to be different than what I have normally done in the past, just to get us through the month. Next I have copay, which I really don't need to total up. And I forgot to check that off. And okay, that one's done. $22.40. This was a combination of mine and my youngest son's prescriptions. So we did get that picked up. And that was the total of both of ours. And then that was it. That was it for our spending categories. So let's go ahead and take these totals over here to the weekly check-in. And we will go ahead and put down what we spent for the week and then find out where we were over, which I'm sure you can guess which one that was, and what we have left and my plan for the rest of the month. Here in grocery household, we had $327.28. Restaurants, we had $118.80. Miscellaneous was 0. Gas was 0. And copay was $22.40. And unbudgeted was 0, thank goodness. Okay, so obviously we went over in grocery household. Let's see how much we went over. So I had $309.47 and we spent $327.28. And that left us a negative $17.81, which is not too bad. All right, we had $196.26 for restaurants, and we spent $118.80, and that gave us $77.46. Okay, now we know we were already over budget by miscellaneous by $58.92. And when I'm over budget in these categories, my goal is to make sure I don't go over budget in all the categories combined. So we will combine this and see what the number is left over. I didn't spend anything in gas, mainly because I haven't been driving anywhere. We didn't have anywhere to travel. And I was expected to travel a little bit, and then that got canceled, so we didn't have anywhere to go. So I had plenty of money for the month here. And then I do know early, was at the beginning of this month, that my car was in the shop for a week and I didn't get it back for a while. So that saved on gas money as well, but cost us some maintenance, which was crazy. Let's see. Oh no, that wasn't this month. That was November, the end of November. I got gas in November, and then the beginning of this month, I already had a full tank of gas. So I didn't really fill up much this month, and I didn't drive as much. That's what happened. Okay, $85.26 for copay, and again, 2 prescriptions, mine and my son's, $22.40. That gives us $62.86. And then 0 for unbudgeted, which is really good. So these are the new numbers going forward. I don't know if I want to put them here or not, because I'm not sure if I'm using a 5th week, mainly because, and I've talked about this in other videos, and I was going to put it in the bank and write myself a check to do that using my dad's bank that I am joint with him on. But I think I'm just going to use cash this weekend, what would have been the 5th week of the month till the new year. That was what I was thinking about doing. So I may not use this. I may not need the 5th week at the end of the month, and that I'm okay with. Though it is very difficult for me to use cash. I don't know if you know this. I don't like using cash. I like using cash electronically. I do not like using cash when I'm at the store or anything. I've never, even when when I didn't have a credit card in the late 90s, I didn't have debit card, I didn't have all this other stuff, and I did use cash for everything. I hated carrying it around. So I just don't like carrying cash around and remembering to use it. So when debit cards came out and credit cards came out very heavily, and I was able to get my own after I turned 15, 16 years old and I started work, I was very thankful that I didn't have to carry cash around. So let's go ahead and see how much cash is left out of these 6 or 5 categories that I actually fund, and what I would have to work with if I did use my debit card, or not my debit card, my credit card, and I have to pay it back, because everything I spend goes on the credit card, and then I just pay it off once a week, and that I pay off all our weekly spending on the Thursday or Friday of every week and start new for the weekend. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to start with the bottom since this number's already here, and I'm going to hit the plus sign, and then we're going to add and subtract all the way up. So I know I have 62.86, and we're going to add the 196.71, and we're going to subtract the 58.92 because this has got to cover some of that, and then we're going to add the 77.46, and then we're going to subtract the $17.81 because we got to take that out. All right, so we have $206.30 left in our spending categories total. Now, probably won't have any spending happening until the 27th. And I'm hoping to use cash for that. So I am positive in cash if you combine the categories together, but I am negative in a couple of categories. So these other categories are supporting these two, and that's fine. And $260 for the last 4 days of the month, that's not too bad, I don't think, if you are very mindful of how you're spending and where the money is going. So my goal is this month, the 27th, 28th, and 29th, all weekend. Well, I say we have to do cash, but now that I say that, I always order the pizza online and it's all electronic. So I will have one charge at least on Friday for Friday night pizza night for my sons. I don't know what my husband and I are going to do. So what we're going to do is stay within that $200 for the weekend for eating out. And then anytime if I have to go to the grocery store, or if I have to get gas in the car, I'll probably use the card. Okay, I was going to use the cash all weekend. That was the original plan when I was thinking this through earlier, but then I realized I hate getting out of the car and paying cash for gasoline or prepaying for how much gas I need, all that stuff. I just rather do everything at the pump. So restaurants. So we're just going to make sure we have enough cash for eating out and gasoline. And then if I need to fill up the gas tank, we haven't driven much. And I think I have a quarter tank left, and I more than likely have enough to get me to this payday here. So I'm not too worried about that, but the eating out, we'll probably put on the credit card. And then any grocery stuff, if I go to the grocery store for anything, I'll use the cash. And I have a good amount of cash there. So I go back and forth. Do I want to deposit it, write myself a check, and put it in the bank? Or do I want to use the cash as I can? I don't know. We'll see what happens. You will know by Tuesday what I decide to do this weekend. I'm hopefully going to film on Monday my end of the month video for the results of what the spending was this weekend and closing out paycheck 2. That is how I close out my budget. And then I'll show you what the monthly budget looks like as well, written out with this basically one sheet of paper with the same numbers. But I also do it paycheck to paycheck, so you'll see both. One will already be worked out. The other one I will work out with you guys. And then the new pay period starts here on Monday the 30th. My husband gets paid at the end of every month and then the middle of the month. So the 30th of every month and the 15th. And then because there's no bills, I don't have to worry about paying any bills. I just use it for spending when I go into the new month. So let's go ahead and total up how much we spent here. Okay, so let's look at the bills. Now that we know how much I spent and I close out the weekly check-in here, that's all done. I know where my numbers are. I know how much I have going into the next week, which is over $200. Should be plenty. And we will use those numbers and close out the end of December with the paycheck 2 closeout. So for bills between the 20th and 26th, I only had one that went to the credit card, and that was this $39.17, which is my husband's bill. I check it off when it gets charged to the credit card, but I check it off here when I pay it, and I've already paid that. So that total will go here. And as you can see, there is nothing else happening at the end of the month. Don't have to worry about any other bills. And so all we got to do is look at what we're paying the credit card. So let's total all these numbers up and find out how much I paid the credit card back this morning. Okay, so I paid the credit card back $507.65. Now, as I look at my bank account right now, I am showing I have $337.10 as the balance of my checking account. Everything I do here is to keep track of my checking account. My sinking funds are a savings account, but everything else you see me do, my monthly budget, do I have enough for the whole month coming in to pay for everything we're going to spend that entire month? That is the checking account. All the money comes in one location, one checking account, and it gets dispersed out of that one checking account. And it's a joint checking between me and my husband. And then when I go to pay the credit card once a week, that means that money is gone to pay for any bills that went charged to the credit card and any spending that got charged to the credit card once a week. I come in here with you guys, do a weekly check-in, and then I transfer those funds once a week. That way there's not a lot of small charges hitting the checking account. It's just these individual bigger weekly charges that hit the checking account, which is kind of nice. But it all comes from the checking account. If the cash is not there, we can't buy it. It's just not what we're doing in this family. Except for what we gave ourselves permission to do. Here in a second, I'll show you. So we have $305.65 spent. We know that 377.10 is what my bank account says. That means our current balance in our checking account after the spending categories are taken out. Because remember what I budgeted for spending, what was left there, isn't everything that was left in my checking account. It was what was left in those spending categories that I saved or I had planned for. I still had a buffer in the checking account. So we are looking, what was that number again? We're taking that 260.30 that we have left in cash minus that 337.10, and we still have $76.80. I'm running out of ink on this pen. There we go. 80 cents sitting left in the buffer of the checking account. So this is what the checking account says. This is what I budgeted to spend. Sorry, my handwriting. And then this is the buffer that's left. There we go. Sloppy handwriting. So that is what I'm looking at right here. Oh, I marked my page. That I need to pay attention to until the January paychecks hit the bank account, which will be the 30th and the 31st, mainly because the 1st is a bank holiday and businesses need 24-hour banking ability in order to make those deposits. So that is where sometimes organizations will pay you ahead of time before it's due, just because it's a weekend or a holiday. They need a 24-hour business day for the bank in order to process paychecks and payroll and stuff like that. So that's what we have here. So for right now, that's looking pretty good. This is all I can spend. The more cash I can spend, the easier it will be for me to transfer and put money into my credit card to pay off a couple things I still have sitting on there. One is vacation debt from October, and then what's left in Christmas here. So now I have to go back and rethink and put cash in a bank account and then write myself a check, which is, it sounds complicated. It's not. I just don't want to make time to do it and go to the bank. It's just, I don't know. I just don't feel like doing it. So anyways, this is my weekly check-in. This is my weekly check-in. This is what I spent. That's how much money I have left over, and to make it to the end of the month. And I think we're good. I think we're pretty okay on a lot of this stuff. And transitioning into January is going to be as it is every month, because I've done so much of the work ahead of time and I keep a close eye on what we spend, that I'm not worried about going into January. I'm not burdened by too much extra stuff that I can't afford and things like that. So thankfully we have sinking funds and cash for holidays and birthdays and Christmases and stuff, and any debt that we carry, even though I don't get charged any interest because we put so much money on the credit card and pay it off so frequently that it doesn't have the ability to accrue that interest, paying most of it off every month, that it doesn't get triggered to cause us to have an interest charge on our credit card. As soon as that happens, I'm going to have to stop using it altogether. That is the commitment. And we don't mind leaving stuff on there if we know we can handle it and we map and plan it out. But even with just this couple thousand on here, I'm struggling with this. This is feeling very weighty and I just want it to go away. And you don't think it's a lot if you've never really experienced it or had that kind of debt. But as soon as you get there, you're just like, and you're not in the middle of a debt payoff journey, it feels heavy. It feels like $10,000, $20,000 on there, like I used to have, not the $2,000 I was excited to get a credit card down to when I was on a debt payoff journey. I mean, this just is, it assaults the system. It definitely weighs heavy on your brain and in your heart and your emotions and all the things you carried around with you. So once that's gone, I'm going to feel lighter and freer, and I will definitely be happy with that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.